Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast. You know we love a good story.
Oh, absolutely. And some stories, well, they're just bigger than life.
And today, we're diving headfirst into one of those stories. The life and career of Robert Downey Jr.
A true Hollywood tale.
Ups and downs, twists and turns, you name it. He's seen it all.
And come out on the other side stronger.
Exactly. So let's start at the very beginning. Robert Downey Jr., born in 1965 in New York City.
And his parent, well, let's just say showbiz was in his blood.
Right. His dad, Robert Downey Sr., a filmmaker, and his mom, Elsie Ann, an actress.
It's like he was destined for the spotlight.
Practically born on a movie set.
And it didn't take long for him to catch the acting bug. 5 years old.
5 years old. Wow.
Yeah, he landed his first role in his father's film Pound.
What kind of role could a 5-year-old possibly play?
You're not going to believe this. He played a sick puppy.
A sick puppy. That's amazing. Talk about starting out small.
But even then, there were glimpses of that undeniable charisma.
It's funny how life comes full circle. He starts as a sick puppy.
And ends up playing Iron Man.
Talk about a transformation.
Yeah.
But getting back to his early life, there's something we need to address.
Ah, yes. The elephant in the room.
Sadly. Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.'s early exposure to drugs.
It's a heartbreaking part of his story. His father admitted to letting him try marijuana at 6.
And it didn't stop there, cocaine as a child as well.
Something his father later deeply regretted, by the way.
It's clear that this had a profound impact on his life.
Absolutely. It's a stark reminder of the lasting effects of childhood experiences.
Especially when it comes to family dynamics.
But despite this difficult start, Downey Jr.'s talent couldn't be ignored. He kept acting.
Honing his skills, appearing in more of his father's films.
And then came the 80s and the rise of the Brat Pack.
Ah, the Brat Pack. A generation of young actors taking Hollywood by storm.
And Downey Jr. was right there in the thick of it, with films like Weird Science.
And Less Than Zero.
Which is interesting because his character in Less Than Zero, a drug-addicted rich kid.
Almost mirrored his own life in a way.
It's eerie, right? Like a foreshadowing of his own struggles.
Art imitating life, or perhaps the other way around?
It's hard to say, but what's undeniable is his talent. Even in those early roles, there was something captivating about him.
A raw energy, a depth that drew you in.
And then came the role that truly solidified his status as a serious actor.
His portrayal of Charlie Chaplin in the 1992 biopic Chaplin.
This is where his dedication to his craft truly shines. He didn't just play Chaplin, he became Chaplin.
I mean, the guy learned to play the violin and tennis left-handed, just like Chaplin.
That's commitment right there. It's that extra mile that separates the good from the great.
And the Academy took notice. He received his first Oscar nomination for Best Actor.
At the age of 27, think about that. That's incredible.
It was a defining moment in his career.
The world saw that he was more than just a pretty face.
He was a force to be reckoned with, a true artist.
But unfortunately, as his career was soaring, his personal life took a downward spiral.
His struggles with addiction intensified. It was a dark period.
Multiple arrests, rehab stints, even jail time.
It was a public spectacle, and there was one particular incident that really stands out.
Oh, you mean the Goldilocks incident?
Yeah, it's almost too bizarre to be true.
He wandered into a neighbor's house while under the influence and fell asleep in a bed.
It was a low point, a moment that captured the grip addiction had on him.
It's a harsh reminder of the destructive power of drugs.
But amidst all this, he still tried to rebuild his career. He landed a role on the hit TV series Ally McBeal.
And once again, his talent shone through. He even won a Golden Globe for his performance.
It's amazing how he could deliver such brilliance even while battling his demons.
It speaks to his resilience, but also to the complexity of addiction.
It's not a simple on-off switch. Recovery is a journey, a constant battle.
A journey with many twists and turns, and unfortunately sometimes relapses.
That's the heartbreaking reality of it.
But it's important to remember that even in those dark times, there's always hope.
Always a chance for redemption.
And for Robert Downey Jr., that chance would come from an unexpected source.
A friend who believed in him when few others did.
Mel Gibson.
Exactly. Now, they had worked together years earlier on the film Air America, and I think Gibson saw something special in Downey Jr.
You know, that spark that just wouldn't be extinguished.
Exactly. And so Gibson did something extraordinary. He actually paid Downey Jr.'s insurance bond for the film The Singing Detective.
Now, that was a huge risk back then, considering everything Downey Jr. had been through.
It really was. But Gibson believed in his talent, believed in his ability to come back.
And that act of faith was really a turning point for Downey Jr.
Absolutely. He gave an incredible performance in The Singing Detective.
Proved he was back and ready to work.
Right, and he followed that up with roles in Gothica and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, showed his range.
Reminded everyone why he was such a captivating actor.
But then came something even bigger, something that would completely redefine his career.
And to the Marvel Universe.
2008, Downey Jr. is cast as Tony Stark Iron Man.
It's hard to imagine anyone else in that role now.
I know, right? But it was director Jon Favreau who saw that potential in him.
Favreau really took a chance on him, didn't he?
He did. He saw the parallels between Downey Jr.'s personal struggles and Tony Stark's own demons.
And it was a gamble that paid off big time.
Oh yeah, Iron Man was a massive hit. Launched the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
A cultural phenomenon.
And Downey Jr. was right at the center of it.
It's like he was born to play that role.
He brought such depth to Tony Stark, a vulnerability that resonated with audiences.
And it's interesting because that same year, he also starred in Tropic Thunder.
Talk about range, going from superhero to comedic genius.
Yeah, and he played Kirk Lazarus, that Australian method actor who takes things way too seriously.
A controversial role, for sure, but he pulled it off.
Brilliantly.
Yeah.
Even earned him another Oscar nomination, this time for Best Supporting Actor.
Showed he wasn't afraid to take risks.
Push boundaries, make people laugh.
He was on a roll. His career was back and bigger than ever.
And he wasn't done yet. In 2009, he stepped into the role of another iconic character
Sherlock Holmes.
in Guy Ritchie's stylish adaptation,
And of course, he nailed it. Brought a modern edge to the role.
while still capturing that classic Sherlock brilliance.
And another Golden Globe to add to his collection.
He was unstoppable. Box office gold, a critical darling.
A true global icon.
And he kept going sequels to Sherlock Holmes, more Iron Man films.
Became one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood.
But he didn't just stick to blockbusters. He still pursued those interesting and diverse roles.
Like in 2014 when he starred in The Judge.
A powerful legal drama that really allowed him to showcase his dramatic range.
And he co-produced it through his own company, Team Downey.
Showed his entrepreneurial side.
That desire to create and tell different stories.
He wasn't content with just being a superhero. He wanted to explore it all.
And then came a role that many consider to be his crowning achievement.
Louis Strauss and Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
A truly captivating performance.
Absolutely mesmerizing. He embodied the complexities of Strauss perfectly.
A man driven by ambition, power, and ultimately his own downfall.
Critics raved about his performance.
And it earned him another Oscar this time for Best Supporting Actor.
Talk about a career comeback. It's remarkable to think about his journey, from those early Brat Pack days to an Oscar-winning performance.
It's a testament to his talent, his resilience.
His unwavering passion for his craft.
And it's not just about acting. He's a dedicated father, a loving husband.
And an advocate for environmental causes through his Footprint Coalition.
He's using his platform to make a difference.
It's inspiring to see.
Robert Downey Jr.'s story is far from over.
He continues to surprise us, challenge us,
and inspire us.
And it's a reminder to all of us that it's never too late for a second act.
That our past doesn't define us.
You know what I find fascinating about Robert Downey Jr.?
What's that?
He's actually taken his struggles and turned them into a source of strength.
Yeah, he uses those experiences to inform his roles.
Makes him more relatable.
More human.
Connects with audiences on a deeper level.
Absolutely. It's like he's saying, hey, I've been there.
I've made mistakes.
Yeah.
But I've come out the other side.
It's a powerful message.
It really is. Especially for anyone facing their own challenges.
Shows that vulnerability can be a strength.
And that our scars can become stories of triumph.
And you know, Robert Downey Jr.'s story also highlights something else.
What's that?
The importance of second chances.
Right. Hollywood's not exactly known for being forgiving.
No, it's a tough industry, but they embraced him. Gave him that opportunity to rebuild.
And he took it and ran with it.
It's a reminder that people can change.
Grow. And deserve another shot.
So here's a question for you.
Okay, I'm listening.
What do you think was the biggest turning point in Robert Downey Jr.'s story?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Was it his decision to get sober for good?
Or Mel Gibson stepping up to help him.
Or maybe landing that iconic role as Iron Man?
It could be any of those. Or maybe a combination of all of them.
That's the thing about life. It's rarely one single moment.
It's the journey, the ups and downs.
The choices we make, the people who support us.
And Robert Downey Jr.'s story has been one heck of a ride.
Full of twists and turns, triumphs and tragedies.
But through it all, he's emerged as a global icon.
A respected artist.
And a symbol of hope.
And that's what makes his story so compelling.
It reminds us that even when we fall, we can rise again,
That second chances are possible.
and that redemption can be found even in the darkest of places.
Wow, sad.
So that's the story of Robert Downey Jr. From troubled past to blockbuster icon.
A true Hollywood tale.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into his life,
Be sure to subscribe to Tell Me More Stories Told Us podcast.
we've got plenty more fascinating stories to share.
So until next time, keep exploring.
Keep learning.
And most importantly,
Keep telling your own stories.